Good evening. This is Edward with sonsofgod.com, and we are resuming some video teaching format. It's been a while, so we're going to kind of explore it a little bit. I'm sure it will get better as we make some decisions and are able to fine-tune this format. So this is the 23rd of July. It's a Saturday evening. We are privy to being in the wrap-up of the ages, a great privilege that the Lord has bestowed upon us, as we know. And yet, in many ways, we're still waiting for the redemption of our body, the seal of sonship that has been promised to us, and that is going to have a dynamic effect on what is unfolding in the earth. It's exciting to kind of ponder on it. A number of times the Lord has said, visualize yourself on the other side of this change. And easier said than done, because we're not really sure what life is going to be like on the other side of this transformation or metamorphosis. But we're very, very close. And I think that's where the warfare has picked up against the saints of light, because the enemy is aware that something is in the works concerning those of us who have been called and anointed for this time. So it presents its own set of challenges as we come to grips with what God has prepared us for, and to kind of look at it and say, you know what? No matter what comes against me at this point, my life cannot be taken, because we have been set aside to enter into the first fruits of sonship, the breakthrough of sonship, the redemption of the physical body, following the path of the Lord Jesus Christ. That is what we have been ordained for. And that can be challenging, because some of us are getting up there in years. I know some of you are in your 80s. And you can think, Lord, how much longer do we have to go? These bodies aren't going to hold up indefinitely. At least it doesn't seem like they will. And the Lord knows. The Lord knows the challenges that He has set before each of us. It can be especially challenging when there isn't really a group that have been called to this that are all on the same page. Even within the scope of some of you who have meetings, and 9 or 10 people get together, whatever, you realize that everyone is on a slightly different page only because it's dictated by the level of maturity and growth that they've experienced, which has then allowed them to be able to see and hear on a deeper plane. I was mentioning to my daughter the other day as we were talking, and I said, I've been pondering on something that is troubling. And it has to do with the fact that what we seek is already here, but we don't see it yet. The answers that we seek are already here, but we haven't seen it. The path at this point may seem a little dim, a little difficult to discern, but it's right here in front of us. And this is something that the Lord has spoken over the years now, that what you seek is here. What you seek is here in your midst, but you don't see it. And this whole thing of sight is something that we can't escape from coming to a deeper level of grips with. Everything is predicated upon your ability to see. You could make it very simple and say it's all about one thing. It's not about me tuning in and having a revelation and, or something that gives you goosebumps or whatever. But it has to do with your ability to see the Lord. That's what this all comes down to. When you talk about revelation or dreams or visions or things that are shown to you, you've got to realize that you're seeing the Lord. It's not about this topic or this experience or something. It's about seeing the Lord. That's what it all has to do. You break into this realm of the Spirit, and the hidden things start becoming unveiled. And we're not talking about the hidden things of darkness where the enemy is doing what he's doing. I don't care what the enemy's doing. The Lord's shown me a lot about that, but it doesn't mean anything. What matters is that we're able to see what the Lord is doing. And people can get caught up in all of the darkness in the earth, and so much of it. And they can tune into, various and sundry situations going on. And it's they're all true. Yeah, is this happening? Yes, it is. Is this happening? Yes, it is. People can stand on their soapbox as prophets and say, yea and verily, the economy is going to collapse. Okay, fine. Tell me something new. Or, any other perception that perhaps to those passing away, which is the majority of the world, they really are clueless. They really are clueless. But there's a different element at work here. It's not being able to see what the enemy is doing. That's a distraction. It's being able to see what the Lord is doing. That's the challenge. Because that's what's been hidden. And it has taken a deeper and deeper work of the cross to purge, purify, and refine, like it refers to in the book of Daniel, where you can come up higher and see. Because that is the net outworking of purification. Without purification, no one can see the Lord. But when that depth of purification happens, and you go through something, even if you don't understand it, but you take it by faith and you just, you submit to the Lord. On the other side of that experience or challenge is a realm of sight waiting for you. I don't know how to explain it. It's exciting because just around the corner is a world that has been hidden to you and I that is opening up. We've already seen glimpses. We already have levels of understanding of the spirit world and maybe principles of the spirit world, how things work. But it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's the tip of the iceberg. You've seen nothing yet. like you're going to see. The Word says that, when Christ is revealed, we will be revealed. Because our lives have been hidden. Christ, and we are being revealed right now. The first one, too, is ourselves. But this realm of sight, I don't even want to call it the realm of revelation, because to me, that carries a soulish connotation of working up, and then all of a sudden you get a revelation as if you did it. How many times do we get a revelation and pat ourselves on the back, not realizing that, wait a second, I didn't do this. The Lord brought the revelation. The Lord brought the insight. The Lord brought you through the waters. And on the other side of those deep waters was a realm of vision and sight. It's like, if you can imagine, seeing but not quite seeing, hearing but not quite hearing. You're seeing more than you did a month ago, a week ago, a year ago. But not enough. But you're seeing enough to realize that, oh my God, right before me is a world that has been hidden. And yet I am called to live in that world. Well, the truth is, it is from that world that you came. Your current sojourn is because you left that world and came here to complete certain things. How many times various elementals have come and said, we know who you are. We know who you are. And mystified, you say, who am I? And they would say, you were as a king over us when you dwelled on our side of the veil. We think of life and, well, it's hard not to think about life being the time frame of when you actually have your physical manifestation. From birth to death. That's life. That's not life. That's going through a progressive process of death until you die. The minute you're born, you start dying. And so we return from whence we came. There's a whole world waiting for us. I've seen it a number of times. Groups of people waiting for the sons of God to take their rightful position in God, to come forth and to manifest their light. Christ says, don't hide your light under a bushel. Well, it's a lot more than that. Because you are the light of God, and that light is so radiant. Like Daniel prophesied, they shall shine like the brightness of the firmament. We know that the Father dwells in, how does it go? Unapproachable light. In many ways, even though it has not yet manifested what you shall be, you live in the same place. Unapproachable light. But only a measure seems to be happening at this point. A measure of that fulfillment. But you and I, we are the light. And it means so much more than just being able to share God and impart God and be a light in a dark place. It is the reality of God in you and that integral oneness that we have with the Father and with the Lord. And so, what's right before us is very intriguing because, like I said, and I'm going to say it again and again, a whole world of spirit is waiting to present themselves to the ascending sons of God. A whole world of spirit that has been hidden to your eyes and hidden to my eyes is getting ready for a great revealing. And we're going to need that because we're going to need all the help we can get in this last phase of the battle of the kingdom. Whether it's the elemental spirits, the cloud of witnesses, those other ones from different worlds, different levels of life. They've been aware, although not really being able to connect the dots of just who is this that they've heard of that will come in this timeline and set them free and be a deliverer. It's like in the book of, well, I think it's Zechariah or Obadiah, one of those, where it says the deliverers will ascend Mount Zion. And that refers to the sons as they're caught up and lifted up in their ascension into the presence of the Father, and they themselves become the very deliverance to this world. You are the deliverance that the world is waiting for. It's a lot more than passing out tracts and saving people. A lot more. But it's right here hovering. It's right around the corner. So I was going to read out of our most recent book, Into the Light, which we now have available in hardbound, which I really enjoy having the hardbound edition. All of the books will be available in hardbound. But I think that we've covered an evening meditation of what the Lord has for us this evening. Because we're so very, very close. And yet the mind is struggling because it doesn't quite see it. But something in your spirit is bearing witness that, yes, it is here. Something is going to open. Something that we've been waiting for. And you could simplify it down to just saying, it's a deeper revealing of the Lord. Yes, it's seeing something that you've never seen before in a way that you never knew existed. But that's just another aspect of seeing Him. The word goes, when you see Him as He is, then you will be like Him. That's been the challenge of change, to see the Lord. And in seeing, to be transformed. What's on the docket? The last transformation out of this body of death into the resurrected, glorified body of life. Ann and I send our blessings to all of you this evening. We'll do another teaching real soon. Thank you.